Hello everyone, I'm Mariya, an architect from Bareilly. I completed my bachelor's in architecture in 2018 and master's in architecture urban regeneration in 2020 from Jamia Millia Islamia. And today I'm here to present my paper named Urban in Rural, a critical appreciation of Rurban Mission. So as we all know that planning in India is restricted to urban areas, be them towns or cities, which comprises only 1/3 of the total population of our country, while the remaining 2/3 of the population remain residing in the rural areas, the villages, with almost zero connectivity, very poor living conditions, and low infrastructure facilities. However, there have been a number of discussions and steps since the independence of India towards the development of rural areas. For example, the 73rd Amendment Act, the 5th Schedule, the Pura Mission, which gave birth to the Rurban Mission that I'm going to talk about. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2016 launched Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Rurban Mission in order to improve the infrastructure facilities in the rural areas of our country and to promote economic upliftment of the rural areas. So my paper here tries to analyze and study the implementation, the progress, and the benefits and the challenges that the Rurban Mission faces. Universally, by universally, I mean to say that the challenges and the benefits that the Rurban Mission has in our country, and contextually. And by contextually, I would like to focus on the urban cluster that I have chosen to study. So the cluster is named as Urla Jagir, and it is situated in the Bareilly district of Uttar Pradesh, and it shares its boundary with the municipal boundary of the city Bareilly. So let us begin. So Bareilly is a city that has undergone a rapid urbanization in the last 2 decades, mainly because of the number of household industries present there and the number of growing educational institutions, and also being listed in as a satellite town to NCR of Delhi. And the urbanization in Delhi is mainly happening towards 2 sides, one towards Delhi and the other towards Lucknow. And this urban cluster of Urla Jagir is located on the Lucknow side of the city. So Urla Jagir urban cluster consists of 13 number of villages and a total population of 51,744 according to a census of 2011. And the cluster has been listed as a non-tribal cluster and has also been classified as potential growth cluster, mainly owing to the location on the national highway, and with a railway network within 5-kilometer range. So the cluster is based on agrarian economy. However, there have been a number of household industry workers there, which also some of the male population from there comes to Bareilly for their daily wages in the form of, and they work in the form of like Zari Zardozi workers, the embroidery workers of Bareilly. So as far as the development from Rurban Mission is considered, the cluster has seen a major development in its infrastructure area. Almost all the villages have been provided with drainage supply and water supply. Water supply has been provided majorly in the form of hand pumps, and in a few villages, namely 2 villages of Bithri, Chanpur and Bhindolia, we see that the water supply that the water supply is piped, and we can see that uh, amount of development that this mission provides depends on the already advanced already existing advancement of the villages like Bindolia and Bitri Chandpur and Urla Jagir. These were the villages that had the most population and were already ahead of the other villages in terms of development. And these are the villages which have been provided with most infrastructure upliftment and new infrastructure development through the mission. It can also be said that it is mainly because of the higher number of population there and the high demand there. But it is not just the population that demands the infrastructure to be provided there, because also need to see the we also need to see the location, the area of the villages, since it is not feasible for a person to use a facility at a distance of 10 kilometers from the area. So it has not been given proper consideration. I think the amount of infrastructure development or a facility upgradation is only dependent on the population and not on the distance from the villages. So, and another point that was quite negative was that the infrastructure is being provided. No doubt, it is being provided in all the villages. However, it is not being monitored or maintained properly. We see that there have been a number of public toilets and bus stands being provided in villages which are not being used. And the bus stands have been provided, but the bus routes are not being diverged into the villages. So those bus stands remain vacant, and they are then being encroached upon by the vendors and also somewhere by the local residents itself. So the implementation is being seen, but the monitoring and the maintenance part is somewhere missing. And also, the uh, mission is more focused on the quantity aspect of the infrastructure, and quality is not being provided. And also, if an infrastructure is being provided, it is only an infrastructure being built up, and the facility is not being availed by the residents. So it becomes of no use, and it remains vacant and become an urban void or a rural void in this case. So these are some of the points that were seen from this case study, and also it was seen that the context was not given a priority. There was a preset guidelines for providing certain infrastructure facilities and for uplifting certain infrastructure facilities. And there was no consideration being given to the local potential, the local resources, the human resources there, and the talent that dwells in these villages. And uh, we also see that the economic upliftment part of the aim of this mission is being neglected. Only the infrastructure is being provided, and the economy is not given quite uh, consideration. We do not see any skill development center, any industries being proposed in these areas. While we do have a lot of potential there, a lot of household industry workers that go to Bareilly for their daily living. So these are some of the points that this case study uh, puts forward. So let's move on to the critique on the mission as a whole. So Rurban Mission has its genesis from Pura Mission, which was given by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam with of the focus on connectivity of rural areas in a regional context. And it was further developed into Pura 2.0 by Jairam Prakash with an added facet of providing rural areas with urban infrastructure facilities. And so, Urban Mission is set to subsume Pura 2.0 with an additional point of economic development. So, the Urban Mission has its is mainly focused on urbanizing our rural areas. So, is that the only model of development that we have? That do we really want to convert our villages into the cities? Are cities so perfect? Is there no disparity there? Are the rich and the poor in our cities being given the same level of infrastructure facilities or the services that are being provided to the two classes? Are they receiving them in the same manner? No, it is not that. So, are we really looking forward to creating our villages into those cities that have such economic disparity and differences in the manner of receiving those services? So, this is something that we should ponder upon. And there's also an aspect of creating smart villages through this urban mission. We already have seen the development of smart cities, which has received quite heavy criticism as it does not focus upon the economic disparity in our cities, and there's no social inclusion being provided by that. And our urban mission also lacks that. It should focus, it should have a facet of social inclusion or inclusive architecture in one of its components. So, because that is something that is very vital for the development of a community. And if we provide that inclusion, then only we can make our society to grow. And by that society, will the villages grow and we will have a holistic development of the nation. So these are some of the points that may not be very positive in the mission. However, the mission is a very major step towards development of rural areas. It has given that importance to our villages that through their development only can we attain that holistic development of our nation on that regional development that we are looking forward to. So that is something that is very like positive about this mission. And it can be seen that this mission will help in creating a number of service villages, and so it will help decentralize urbanization, and it may also help in restricting migration from villages to the cities, and it may really help in making our villages sustainable and help them flourish where they are, but only if the economic sustainability part is being given consideration. It is something very vital for this mission success that the villages should be provided with economic sustainability that the mission talks about, but somewhere lacks in its implementation. So these are some of the points uh, that may be that may be improved in the mission for its proper success, for making it success and for making the nation grow holistically. So, concluding my presentation, I would like to say that this mission, the Shama Prasad Mukherjee Urban Mission, is a very good and a major initiative into the into extending planning to the rural areas. And the mission, if implemented with sincerity, can be a game changer in the planning of our nation, as it keeps the rural areas into consideration while planning uh, of a region. So it is required to give importance to the local population, their needs, their issues, and their demands, and include them in the development of their villages to help the mission reach its success. So it is a very promising step, and it is taken at the right time when the rural aspirations are quite high and they are looking forward to growing economically and socially. And so it is like very welcoming by the rural population themselves. They would like to take part in to the development of their villages, and it is something that they are looking forward to. And this mission is like fulfilling their dreams that they have been dreaming through ages. So this is something that can be like very that can prove to be very useful in the holistic development of our nation.